Okay, so I've had a lot of requests on people asking me exactly how I put my jamberries on. Um, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that shows a lot of different ways, and this is my personal way that I do it. Here's my rubbing alcohol, and I use just cotton rounds. This is what you put on your fingers prior to even putting on your jamberries. And here I have my files, my nail clippers, my scissors, the jamberries I'm going to use, my cuticle pusher, cuticle oil, and my heater. You can also use a blow dryer. And bear with me because I don't have Sadie as my camera person who I thought I would. Instead, she decided she was going to bed. Okay, so the first things first, what you should always do is prep your nails. And when I say prep, you're going to use rubbing alcohol on your nails to prep. So you're just going to take your cotton and you're just going to rub it onto your nail. So let me see if I can balance this without making a huge disaster. And you just rub it on each nail. I'm just going to do my left hand for now, just for time. Make sure you get really good on that. And then, so there's that. Okay. And then after that, what we're going to do is, let me see if we can use this. Alright, there we go. You're going to use a cuticle pusher, and you're going to make sure that your cuticles are pushed back as far as they can, and make sure all these little pieces of skin on the side of your nails are pushed away. That'll help adhere your jamberry wrap to your nail butter. You don't really want any of the skin, this excess skin. I don't know if you can see any. I don't really have a lot just because I use the jamberry wraps often, and I try to push my cuticles back. But if you have a lot of cuticles showing, you can always use cuticle oil with that. Just kind of brush that on. That kind of just helps soften up the cuticles so you can get them back a little further. A lot of people have cuticles that stick way up, and you don't really want that because that will get in the way of your wrap. Well, you just want to make sure you go around all that. Okay. Alright. And then what I like to do again is take some rubbing alcohol and just go over it again. The idea of the rubbing alcohol is to make it so your nails are completely dried up. That makes the jamberry wrap stick to your nail butter. Okay. Now you're going to take your jamberry wrap sheet, and I cut mine in half, the sheet itself. And what I like to say to do is kind of take, and you're going to kind of measure up with your finger what wrap would probably work the best with each finger. Now, I kind of already know which wraps because I do it all the time, but your first time, it's going to take a little bit more effort to try to choose which wrap would go on each finger. So since I do this a lot, I know exactly which wrap I need to put on each finger. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut my wrap. I'm not going to use these top three right here because I don't really need to use them. In one of these I'm not going to use. But what these can be used for, these top two, is is a jamberry pedicure, which is really great. I can show another YouTube video of that, and these two top wraps can be used in one pedicure. So I just used a half a sheet, and basically I could get one whole pedicure out of this portion of the sheet. And then what I usually do is I just go down the center and just cut them in half. Some people like to conserve a little bit more, and they'll only cut them in, like, they'll try conserving and just cut a little bit here and then a little bit here and then still have centers so that they can go ahead and they can use it again for like a pedicure. But I don't feel the need to do that. Alright, so first things first is I have my heater on, and what you're going to do, the easiest thing to do, is never grab any of the wraps by this bottom part right here, because that is going to be the most important part that's going to go on your finger. This part up here is not necessarily going to be on your finger. So if you want to grab it, you can from up there. Oops, let's see. Pull my heater back. Okay, so you can pull it from up there, and then usually what I do is kind of stick it on the stick like that. Alright? And then all you're going to do is put it in front of your heater or your blow dryer, and it's just going to curl just a little tiny bit, and that's what you want it to do, is just curl just a little bit. See how it's curled? Let's see. Oops. Okay, so it has curled just a little tiny bit. Okay, then what I do is I grab it from the end, because I'm not going to be using the end, and I place it on my finger. Just like that. You want to make sure you don't get any skin in there. If you do, you can kind of pull up on it and realign it. And then just push it down like that. And then just take your cuticle pusher and make sure you smooth it all out.